I'm going to be making gluten-free cheesecake.
For today's ingredients, we'll start with the crust. We're going to be using 2 3/4 ounces of gluten-free graham cracker crumbs made by Knick Foods. We're going to be using 1 ounce of melted butter and 2 teaspoons of sugar. And for the cheesecake filling, we're going to be using 12 ounces of regular Philadelphia cream cheese, 3 egg yolks, 3 3/4 ounces sugar, 2 ounces heavy whipping cream, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then for our tools, we have a scale to measure out the graham cracker crumbs and the sugar. We have a bowl to make our crust, a bowl to mix our cream cheese filling. I have little foil ramekins that we're going to be making the cheesecakes in today, and a deep baking pan to bake the cheesecakes in a water bath. I'm going to start with the melted butter that I melted 1 ounce in the microwave for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to add the 2 1/4 ounces of graham cracker crumbs and 2 teaspoons of sugar, and I'm going to mix them all together. Now once the mixture is combined nicely, we'll go ahead and evenly spoon them out into the 5 ramekins that we have prepared over here. Now that you have evenly spread out the crust, we'll go ahead and use your fingers to gently press it down and even it out. Now we're going to go ahead and slide it into an oven that has been preheated to 400 for no more than 5 minutes, just till they're slightly cooked. Now once the crusts have been cooking for about 5 minutes, we're going to go ahead and pull them out for the oven, and we're going to slide them onto a cooling rack so they cool down before we put the cream cheese into them. Now for the cheesecake part, we're going to start by softening the cream cheese. You could do it with the back of a spoon. Now that the cream cheese has been softened a little bit, you can go ahead and add the 3 3/4 ounces of sugar and work that into the cream cheese. Alternatively, you can do this with the paddle attachment on the KitchenAid. Now that we have finished incorporating the sugar into the cream cheese, make sure you do it quite well because you don't want to have lumps in the cheesecake. We're going to go ahead and add the egg yolks one at a time. Now we're going to add 1 egg yolk at a time, and make sure to thoroughly mix it and scrape down the sides of the bowl in between each egg yolk that you add. Now that the eggs have been mixed in, I'm going to go ahead and add the 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I'm also going to add the 2 ounces of heavy cream. And we're going to go ahead and mix that all up together, and then we're going to be ready to pour the cheesecake into the ramekin. Now that everything has been combined, we're going to evenly pour them out into the ramekins. Now that we have the mixture spread out evenly, we're going to go ahead and tap them on a counter to get them spread evenly in each ramekin. And it's also going to release any bubbles that have formed inside. Okay, and now we're going to be ready to put them in a water bath and get them baking. Now I'm going to go ahead and place them carefully into the water bath that I have prepared. I fill up a baking pan about 1/3 of the way with water. Carefully place them in. You don't want to spill any water into the cheesecakes. And now I'm going to go ahead and cover it with a piece of silver foil like a tent, and I'm going to leave the front part of it open. Now make sure you place it carefully into the oven. You don't want any of the water to spill into the cheesecakes. And we're going to let that bake on a preheated oven on 290 degrees for about 45 minutes until set. Now that the cheesecakes have cooked for about 45 minutes. They are ready. You can see that they're set if you move them. There's no liquid left in the center. Go ahead and remove them and put them on a cooling rack. Here's the finished product, the gluten-free cheesecake. For more information and ingredients on this recipe, please check below. Please don't forget to subscribe.